What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have a very, very interesting response from former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman, who at one point in time held the WBC World Boxing Council and the WBA World Boxing Association titles simultaneously after his March of 2017 showdown with two-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia. With that said, Keith Thurman, he went on a 2-year hiatus after the fight with Danny Garcia, which saw the WBC World Boxing Council strip him of the WBC title. And then he came back in January of 2019. He fought Josito Lopez in a comeback fight. And then in July of 2019, he defended his WBA title against legendary 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. With that said, he lost to Manny Pacquiao. And then Keith Thurman, he went on another 2-year hiatus from July 2019 to currently this past Saturday, February 5th. Okay, he made his comeback against former WBA World Boxing Association's junior welterweight regular champion Mexican star boxer Mario Barrios. With that said, Keith Thurman is now 30 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 22 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'7", with a 69-inch arm reach. He defeated Mario Barrios via unanimous decision, and now Mario Barrios is 26 wins, 2 losses, 17 wins by way of lockout, no draws. He is 5'10" with a 71-inch arm reach at 26 years of age. With that said, Keith Thurman, in his 2-year comeback, everybody expected him to either stop Mario Barrios, who was coming off of a brutal knockout loss to, at the time, super featherweight, 3-division world champion, undefeated superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, in which Gervonta Tank Davis dropped Mario Barrios 3 times and ultimately stopped him in the 11th round. Now, what's interesting here, obviously, is that Mario Barrios is a junior welterweight, 140-pounder. Gervonta Tank Davis was a 130-pounder who moved up to 140. And Gervonta Tank Davis, who's undefeated, now 26 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 big wins by way of knockout. He's 27 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. So obviously, Mario Barrios at 5'10" had a distinct height advantage, and with a 71, almost 72-inch arm reach, had a distinct arm reach advantage over Gervonta Tank Davis. And obviously, Tank Davis moving up 10 pounds had a weight advantage over Gervonta Tank Davis. Okay, but Gervonta Tank Davis, who struggled in the first 5 rounds, you could say Mario Barrios won 4 out of the first 5 rounds. And then Tank decided to make an adjustment. And when he made the adjustment, he was able to get to Mario Barrios, knock out Mario Barrios, drop him 3 times, and get the stoppage victory in his debut at 140. But with that said, that's the last time Mario Barrios had fought. So he was coming off of that loss, being knocked out, being dropped, and he was moving up to welterweight. Okay, so everybody expected Keith Thurman, who was highly regarded at the welterweight division, to beat Mario Barrios, okay, and dominate Mario Barrios and knock out Mario Barrios, okay. Keith Thurman is the naturally bigger guy. Keith Thurman, at one point in time, his nickname is One Time because he was getting knockouts, okay. Keith Thurman is the more skilled guy. He's naturally bigger than Gervonta Tank Davis. He's naturally physically more gifted than Mario Barrios. And in the night of the fight, you expected, when you saw Keith Thurman, very muscular physique, in shape, stated he was in the best shape of his life. No injuries. He had all the injuries, attended to and fixed and corrected. And so you expected Keith Thurman to dominate the fight. He was physically the bigger guy in the ring. You can clearly see that. Mario Barrios was more rangy, but Keith Thurman was clearly the more physical guy. And Keith Thurman, early in the fight, he broke Mario Barrios' nose. But that glaring weakness of Keith Thurman, it showed up again. The one that showed up against Luis Collazo to the body, where he was hurt badly to the body and had to utilize the ring to survive the round against Luis Collazo. And he was hurt badly by Josito Lopez. And he was hurt badly in the 10th round. He was dropped in the first round of the fight with Manny Pacquiao. But in the 10th round, he was badly hurt to the body by Manny Pacquiao. He had to spit out his mouthpiece, utilize the ring, run around the ring. And once again in this fight with Mario Barrios, although they wore 10-ounce gloves, once again, that glaring weakness raised his head. And Keith Thurman was hurt to the body by a left hook. And Keith Thurman, he had to spit out his mouthpiece. He had to utilize the ring. And he had to survive. And then in the very next round, he got caught to the body again. And he had to repeat the cycle. But this time, he winced. And Mario Barrios caught him with a straight right hand. So with that said, Keith Thurman, he finally responds to what took place. And Keith Thurman admits that if Mario Barrios was able to get to him and was physically more gifted and was able to close the distance and get back on the inside, he could have put him down and possibly stopped Keith Thurman. You heard me. Keith Thurman admits that he could have been put down and stopped by Mario Barrios if Mario Barrios physically was able to get on the inside and physically more gifted. Keith Thurman is the better athlete. Okay, Keith Thurman was utilizing the ring, and he wouldn't allow Mario Barrios to close the distance. Now, one thing I will say about Keith Thurman is that once you do get close to Keith Thurman will indeed let his hands go. Okay, he's not just going to run around the ring. Keith Thurman has a very, very high ring IQ. He's a very good boxer. But Keith Thurman, he showed wear and tear. He showed that he wasn't as quick as he normally was with his hands. He didn't have the same pop and accuracy. Now, the accuracy could largely be in due part to the fact that Keith Thurman has been outside the ring. He's fought a total of 3 times in 5 years, okay? So with that said, that could definitely be a huge part that Keith Thurman is showing ring rust. But nonetheless, it's surprising to hear Keith Thurman say, if Mario Barrios would have been able to work his way on the inside, he would have been able to put me down, or he may have even been able to stop me, okay? And so with that said, you have to point to other fighters. Like I stated earlier, if you go back and watch the live stream that I did earlier, I stated that that glaring weakness is going to be a significant problem for Keith Thurman when you're talking about the upper echelon in the welterweight division. When you start to talk about the Terrence Crawford, undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and Terrence Bud Crawford, who is 38 wins, no loss, and no draws, 29 big wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'8", with a 74-inch arm reach. Well, Keith Thurman has a total of 30 wins in his career. Terrence Crawford has 29 knockouts, and he's on a 9-fight knockout streak. And Terrence Crawford is able to switch from southpaw to orthodox comfortably and fluidly. And he did something that Keith Thurman couldn't do. They have a mutual opponent. And that is 2-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Sean Porter. Keith Thurman wasn't able to put down Sean Porter. He buzzed Sean Porter, but he was never able to drop Sean Porter. Terrence Crawford dropped Sean Porter twice and ultimately got a 10th round stoppage victory. Okay, and again, he's on a 9-fight knockout streak. So he's knocked out all his opponents at the welterweight division. And then that leads you to undefeated, unified WBC IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and Earl the Truth Spence Jr. 27 wins, no losses, no draws, 21 wins by way of knockout. He is 31 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. Now, Earl Spence, out of the welterweight division, he's considered the most physical and the biggest and the strongest welterweight, and he too is a southpaw. Okay? And Errol Spence is known to be the body snatcher. This is what Errol Spence specializes in. Errol Spence had been seeking out a fight with Keith Thurman since he unified his belts with former IBF welterweight world champion British superstar boxer Special K. Kell Brook. When Errol Spence won that belt from Kell Brook, he was looking to unify the titles against Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman was unwilling to oblige him. Errol Spence goes to the body very, very aggressively, and that's what he's known. That's his forte. And then there's another guy, and Errol Spence is bigger and stronger than Keith Thurman, and he's younger. And again, Keith Thurman has 22 knockouts in his career at 31 years of age, with 31 fights in his career, and Errol Spence has 21 knockouts and 27 fights. So he's bigger, stronger, and younger than Keith Thurman. And his forte is going to the body. And then you have another gentleman who just entered the conversation as of late, Next undefeated, rising welterweight superstar title contender, Jaron Boots Ennis, who is known to be very versatile, switch from orthodox to southpaw, very big, very strong at 5'10", with a 74-inch arm reach. He is 28 wins, no losses, no draws, 26 wins by way of knockout. He has more knockouts than Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. And Jaron Boots Ennis is younger at 24 years of age, but he's even bigger than Errol Spence, and he switches from southpaw to orthodox like Terrence Crawford. So if you imagine, now you factor in another guy, an undefeated, rising welterweight, superstar, Mexican boxer, title contender, Virgil Ortiz Jr., who is another big, strong guy who goes to the body at 5'10", with a 72-inch arm reach. And Virgil Ortiz Jr. is 24 years of age, 18 wins, no losses, no draws, 18 wins by way of knockout. So he's big, strong, and known to go to the body as well. So these all can present a serious issue for Keith Thurman, a serious problem. So I truly believe that Keith Thurman should take another tune-up, okay? Or the best opportunity for Keith Thurman would be WBA, welterweight, world champion, Cuban star boxer, Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis Ugas is 27 wins, 4 losses, no draws, 12 wins by way of knockout, 35 years of age, 5'9" with a 69-inch arm reach. So he has arm reaches that's similar to Keith Thurman. He's not as athletic as the other guys I just mentioned, not as big, and doesn't have as much power as those guys. But once again, Yordenis Ugas is very skilled, very technically sound, and he goes to the body very well. And we're seeing that you don't have to be the biggest puncher to have effect going to Keith Thurman's body. So this is alarming, and let's see how this plays out moving forward. What's next for Keith Thurman? There's reports and rumors that Keith Thurman could possibly face Terrence Crawford in July, as he waved his hand and stated that he was willing to do so. Let's see how this plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Oh, it is your boy Jada Kiss. Make sure you check out Blue Blood Sports TV. It's going down.